And we are back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Spider Talk live news show. We have got a fair few things to talk about today. It seemed like a very dead week up until probably a few days ago. A bunch of stuff came out with MCU Spider-Man 4 that we need to talk about because that is crazy. It isn't specifically about MCU Spider-Man 4, but it involves what could happen within the film. More involving Deadpool and Wolverine, more so. But it affects Spider-Man massively, and it's something that we definitely need to talk about. We've also got Venom 3's title. We've got Sweeney potentially returning to play Spider-Woman. We've got Nick Cage and Spider-Man Noir news, and we've also got future Venom news as well. Tillman Studios, what is up? How are we doing? How is everyone doing today? Is everyone okay? Let me know in the chat. You know, I'm obsessed with these polls. Let's get a poll going. How you doing? I'm just gonna put how you doing. Good. Even better. There you go. There's the first poll. We're sending some positive vibes today to start off with. Doing good, says Tillman. That's good. That's good. Love to know that. Love to know that. Hi, Mezzo Mind. What's the news, Lewis? Well, we're going to get into that, Mezzo Mind. We're going to get into that. I'm just going to promote the stream real quick. Let me know if you guys can hear the background music, by the way. I thought it'd be pretty nice maybe to put a little bit of background music into the stream. Maybe make it a little bit more chill. Let me know if you can hear that. Let me know if you can hear. Hi, 24 Bricks. How are we doing? So yeah, let's get into this. We've got some big news to talk about for those of you who are just joining. Yeah, it's nice, says Mezzo at Mind. Oh, lovely, lovely. Is it overpowering? Is it good? Like, what are we saying? What are we saying? I'm just gonna create post. Streaming now. There we go. Just trying to get as many people in here as possible. Make sure to share the stream as well, and we'll get as many people in here as possible, and we'll start talking about the news. Yeah, I can hear the music, says Tillman. Lovely, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. A nice little chill vibe we got going on here. We've got the pink atmosphere as well, you know? It's a chill vibe, it's a chill vibe. Speaking of pink, by the way, Spider-Gwen Odyssey, where is it? There it is. Coming soon. Just gotta plug that real quick. But either way, why not? Let's just get into the Venom 3 title reveal. So, for those of you who don't know, Venom 3 has a title. It is called Venom: The Last Dance. Right? This is the first piece of news we've got. So, Venom: The Last Dance. What do you guys think about the title? We're going to end the first poll because, you know, it's not Spider-Man related, but it was worth it. Do you like Venom: The Last Dance as a title? This is our first poll of the day. So, yeah, it's called Venom: The Last Dance. It's going to obviously be the last dance for Venom, like who could have guessed. I'm not really a big fan of it. What do you guys think? Can't wait for Odyssey, says 24 Bricks. Thank you very much. It's going to be amazing, he says. Yeah, I know Venom and Venom were gay together. Well, I mean, there is a symbiotic relationship, so I don't even think you could consider them a relationship of any kind. I think they're symbiotic, right? So, Venom: The Last Dance of the Sonyverse, says 24 Bricks. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this film's title. Only because I think it's a bit basic. I mean, I thought Sony absolutely fumbled the bag, and you guys can let me know in the comments down below as well in the chat. I think Sony fumbled the bag by not calling Venom 2 Maximum Carnage. Don't you think? I mean, let me know in the chat if I'm just overthinking Let There Be Carnage. But when Let There Be Carnage got announced as the Venom 2 title, I was like, they've completely fumbled the bag. They could have just called it Maximum Carnage. Maximum Carnage is like one of the most popular Spider-Man stories ever. And they could have called it Maximum Carnage. It made no sense to me. But either way, yeah. It's a decent name, but I think there are much better names for it, says Tillman. Sony obviously knows everyone thinks the movies are dumb and funny, so they think they're just doing it. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. These films are so weird. They're not even the best, but I love them, says Mezzo Mind. I mean, yeah, they're a certain kind of film, right? Agreed, says Tillman. I hate not being much news. Best weeks are when we have so much. Yeah, there are. Well, there's not much news this week, but the stuff we're going to talk about is big. Finally, I've joined your live stream. Welcome, Cosmic Bazooka. Welcome. I actually prefer that Let There Be Carnage. I prefer they use Maximum Carnage from an accurate film for a comic of it. That makes sense, I guess. That makes sense. A proper to the bone, to the T. I think A Last Dance will fit with the bromance between Eddie and Venom. And now I want to give you something that says Cosmic Bazooka. Hi, Revenant's Punch, how are we doing? Welcome all the members that are in the chat as well. Yeah, I mean, you guys are awesome. It's good to see you in here. But either way, let's get on to... So, yeah, Venom 3 is going to be called Venom The Last Dance. So, which is mad, right? You know, who knows what this film could be about? No indication on who the villain is. No indication on what the story is going to be about. We just know it's The Last Dance for Venom. And we've got some more Venom news coming later on Venom's future and Venom 4. This came in from Daniel RPK, and you guys aren't going to want to miss this. We're talking a lot about Daniel RPK this stream as well. He's reported on a lot of things we're going to talk about. Dave says, hey, Lewis, how's everything going? Good, thank you, mate. Hopefully you're doing all right as well. Maximum Carnage, I'd prefer that to be a title for a Carnage DLC rather than a Sony film. Fair enough. I mean, maybe the DLC will be called Maximum Carnage for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Venom is coming to the MCU after Venom 3 100%. That's what we're going to talk about, so stay tuned to the end of the stream. We're going to talk about Venom's future because there's big news on that as well. I think it's too on the nose. Like, name it something cool for the last one. Last Dance is so basic. Yeah, I think it's a bit basic as well. Daniel RPK is the GOAT since 24 Bricks. He really is. He's the GOAT of leaks. I think Alex Perez is very much getting to GOAT status as well, but Daniel RPK has been around for a very long time. So yeah, it's almost 50-50. 42%, 58%. Oh, the 10 euros from Cosmic Bazooka. I wanted to give you 10 because why not? Oh, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. That's yeah, no, that's amazing. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that, mate. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, thank you, mate. I do appreciate that. Yeah, thank you very much. I always do appreciate super chats. Whenever you guys do them, it's absolutely awesome. I mean, you guys just being here anyway is awesome. Like, bro, watching my videos, that's crazy. But thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I you know, considering I do this full time now as well, bro, I really appreciate it. You know, W in the chat for Cosmic Bazooka. Cosmic Bazooka, the GOAT. He the GOAT. Apparently, Venom 3 will be his last solo movie, but it won't be the last time we see Tom Hardy as Venom. Kevin Feige is open to him show up in Secret Wars and other Spider-Man movies. Keep that in mind, because that's what we're going to talk about later. That's exactly what we're going to talk about later. I'm here for the hopefully granted MCU Spider-Man stuff. So yeah, we're going to get into that just a second. That is the next topic of conversation. Hi, how's it going? How's 2024 treating you so far? Pretty good, thank you, Jay. Hopefully you're doing all right as well. What the hell is Eddie and Venom going to become in the third movie? They took down Carnage. Are they going to take down God? Who knows? Tom Hardy's Venom is definitely coming to the MCU to face Tom Holland. Spider-Man, says Dave. Hope you're having a good stream. I am. Thank you very much, Cosmic Bazooka. I always do appreciate it. Kingpin in the MCU is 100% superhuman. I don't want Fisk to be a passive guy in a chair character. Fisk is supposed to be hands-on. Yes, so let's talk about Cosmic Bazooka is the GOAT along with Daniel RPK, says Tony Bricks. Absolutely. Hey, Lewis, how you doing? I'm good, thank you. Hopefully you're doing good as well. But either way, let's get straight into it. So, MCU Spider-Man 4 gets crazier, right? We need to talk about this. This is mad, right? And I'm going to have to read this because this is quite long. But basically, if you guys don't know, obviously, the last couple of weeks, we've been getting multiverse rumors, street-level rumors, a bunch of stuff from Alex Perez, a bunch of stuff from Daniel RPK. If you guys don't know, I've made many videos on it the last couple of weeks on this channel, and also I've done streams where I've talked about it, so go back and watch that if you're not up to date. I will be talking a lot about it here, so you probably will get caught up by just listening to this. But this is what we have got. So I'm taking this little section from Spider-Man News on Twitter. They're a very, very good source that collects all the Spider-Man information from different leakers and news sources. They're very, very good. I 100% recommend you follow them because they collectively bring it all together. And it's great. And this is their little passage on it explaining the information. And they say that Deadpool and Wolverine will introduce a new multiverse concept that in every universe there is a chosen hero. And that if that hero dies or gets removed from their universe, that universe will die. This would line up with old rumors that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the chosen one of the MCU. And this comes in from Daniel RPK. So, what do you guys think about that? Okay, I need to start a new poll. Do you guys... This is the key question. I really want you guys to answer this question. Let's have a debate about this. Answer this question. Do you want Spider-Man to be the chosen one of the MCU? Now, the thing is, you guys might say, okay, well, this is only a rumor. It is only a rumor. However, it's got a little bit more leverage than that. This is one of those things that has been reported for a long while. As Spider-Man News tweeted as well there, he said that this has been something that's been rumored many times. You know, this was rumored last year. I'm pretty sure it was rumored just after No Way Home came out as well, that Tom Holland was going to become the chosen one. No one really knew what this meant. No one really knew why. Everyone just kind of thought, oh, this is stupid. But it turns out that Deadpool and Wolverine are going to introduce this concept to the multiverse where every universe has a hero. And basically, if that hero gets removed from that universe, the universe will die. So what does this mean? If Tom Holland is the chosen one for the MCU, that means if he gets taken out, the MCU will die. Is this a way for them to take Tom Holland out of the MCU, put him in the Sonyverse, and then reboot the MCU? That's what this sounds like to me. That's exactly what this sounds like to me. A soft reboot of the MCU? It kind of needs it right now, don't you think? So, yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of comments to get through here, but absolutely hate Deadpool 3 concept. I know everyone's going to hate me. I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of 50-50, but you'd think, you know, the poll says it's 50-50, but you'd think that if it was a concept that was ready to bang, more people would be on board with this. We may get that Spider-Man 4 being Kingpin. That's a different conversation. Depends on the context, I guess. Yeah, I guess it does. Doctor Strange 2 literally said Strange caused an incursion. Yeah, and the thing is, it's all getting confusing here. I really hope this somehow turns out to not be true. But the issue we're having is that this is coming in from multiple sources, and the fact because it's been coming out over a few years. Different pieces of information, and when it comes out from multiple sources, it most of the time means that it's got some leverage. The chosen one should be Sam or Wanda or something. I know it sounds stupid, but I think it fit better. And this brings me back around to the important conversation that people have been having recently with Ultimate Spider-Man is, you know, Spider-Man the chosen one. Is that right? Is it right for Spider-Man to be the chosen one in any circumstance? Not in my opinion. I'm going to refrain from getting too much into the chosen one debate because that's a debate I have quite a lot on this channel. But I can't help but try and explain myself. I don't think this is a great idea at all. The whole idea of Spider-Man is that he can be anyone. He could be me. He could be you. You know, he could be a kid. He could be an adult. You know, he could be from all across the world, as Stan Lee quoted himself. You know, he could be English. He could be British like me. You know, he could be Indian. He could be African. He could be South American. He could be North American, which he is. You know, he could literally be from anywhere. And that's the whole point of the character. He can be anyone anywhere. He can be from Australia. It doesn't matter, right? This is the whole point of Spider-Man. So, you know, this is it. And him being the chosen one, Peter Parker being the chosen one, just is completely out of line with his character. And that I don't see this ever. And this is my problem with Ultimate Spider-Man at the minute. Obviously, people love Ultimate Spider-Man, the comic. But this is my problem with it. This is why I think it's slightly overrated, is that I'm not backing down from this either until I get proven wrong, which I hope I do. I just think I don't like the chosen one narrative. You know, so this is it. Yeah, Strange. Strange should be the chosen one if this concept has to be a thing. I totally agree. Doctor Strange would be a perfect fit for this. In my view, the freshman year characters are joining Tom in the rebooted MCU. Freshman year, Spider-Man will die by the hands of his Norman. That could be pretty cool. Tom in the Sony movies, please no. I want Sony to stop making the Spider-Man movies without Spidey and give the rights back. Just do it like Hickman did, where a few heroes survive the incursions on life rafts, like Spidey, Star-Lord, Captain Marvel, Strange, and Reed Richards. That could be quite cool to reboot the MCU, by the way. That could be a cool idea. Chosen one should be Strange, says Jay. They want to make MCU Peter the... I don't know who that character is. I'm sorry, I don't get the reference, but I'm sure you're right. Even if Spider-Man could be the chosen one, Holland ain't it. I think that means that certain chosen one characters will be integrated into the soft reboot of the MCU. So Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and so on would fit into the soft rebooted MCU. Yeah, and then I'm sure we'll get plenty of jokes from Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool about how there used to be another MCU beforehand. Why is Spider-Man getting S'd on nowadays? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Freshman year exists, in my opinion, to transition the characters like Norman are Otto, Scorpion, Rhino, and others into the rebooted MCU, Marvel can make 1994 Spider-Man series after freshman year. That would make sense, but the thing is, freshman year's got, it has a greenlit sequel series. So I don't think that's the case. It would be cool. I think what they're doing is, right, you got to remember that freshman year is brand synergy with the MCU, right? So a lot of the stuff is going to be similar, but a lot of the characters are different. Now, the reason for this, I believe, is probably because they are characters they want to introduce into the MCU, but can't currently do that with the movie that they have planned. So I think they're testing them out, testing the stories, and if they work, I think they'll transition them. It doesn't matter much, though. Well, it does matter, because at the back of your mind, that's still a part of the character, right? If I went and told you, this is going to be a wild analogy, but this is the first thing I thought of. If I told you, right, that Captain America... Oh, I can't use that analogy, actually. Well, could I? Okay, yeah. If I told you that Captain America worked for Hydra before he was Captain America, but it doesn't matter because he's still Captain America, you're going to go, wait a minute, he worked for Hydra. That's ridiculous. Why did he do that? And I go, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he doesn't work for Hydra anymore. It's fine. Like, it's in the past. It doesn't matter. We can just block it out of our minds. No, that's still a part of the character. You can't get rid of that. It's like, weird analogy, but you get what I'm saying. If Spider-Man is the chosen one in the MCU, it's like, well, why? Why? So, Deadpool should be the chosen one, says SR Striker. I completely agree. Oh, that would be cool. I mean, Doctor Strange, maybe? Like you said, he can be anyone, and that's why Spider-Verse exists. We see so many different people as Spider-Man or Spider-Woman, it's so cool. Exactly, right? Yeah, we got Miles, Peter, Jessica, Gwen, whatever. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. First, one more day, then Zeb Wells. Now this, says Jay. I would like some Spidey and Daredevil team-ups, and Spidey and Human Torch team-ups, and Spidey and Wolverine, but not with Deadpool. Who's excited for X-Men 97 tomorrow? Really don't have an opinion. Oh, I've been trying to get into the original X-Men series so I could watch it, so, I will get to it. Plus, I don't understand the frustration. It's been stated multiple times in canon that Spider-Man is basically the heart and soul of every world that he's in. This is the issue. I don't like this, right? I get that Spider-Man being the chosen one is like an integral part of the character now. Like in a modern day, for the people that have grew up with Spider-Man in today's world, or read Spider-Man stories for the past 20 years, Spider-Man's always the chosen one, right? He's always the heart and soul of every world he's in, like you were saying, Dave. He is, and that's just how it is now. I personally disagree with that being a trait for the character. I don't like it. I don't think it works. I don't think I just don't like it. His legacy would surpass all of the heroes. Yeah, we need longer hair, Peter. He saw the thumbnail. Am I high? High? Why would I be high? I'm high on life. Man, I honestly don't care anymore. Constant character assassination, unnecessary preaching, plots that go nowhere. The writers, shareholders don't care about actually telling a good story. Yeah, I agree. You know what's wrong with this idea of the chosen one? Well, there's a little film that explains that problem. Megamind. I know it sounds weird, but let me cook, says the Mesozoic Mind. Okay. Oh, he's typed. Okay, he's typed. In Megamind, Hal turns into a superhero and is tricked into being a chosen one hero, but Hal is actually an incel psycho and becomes evil. The chosen one can be a bad person. I mean, I guess maybe that's a good way of looking at it. I think Sony should hire Scarlett Johansson as Black Cat for Tobey's universe. ScarJo can also be an older Spider-Gwen in the SSU. That's very wild casting there, but, you know, could it work? Maybe. Like you said, it doesn't matter. If I killed someone, but like you said, it does matter. If I killed someone, but then never killed anyone again, I can't just say it doesn't matter. Exactly. 24 bricks, nail on the head. Hey everyone, hi Cham, how we doing? I don't see it as Peter being the chosen one. He's just the chosen totem of that character, that universe. But that's the same thing though, right? That's like the whole spider totem thing with Morlan and Ezekiel Sims and that whole story where every single universe has a chosen totem for a spider character. That's like the same thing. Right? And I don't like it because half the time, most of the time, it's Peter Parker. So that completely eliminates the idea that anyone could be Spider-Man. This is going to get into a deeper rooted issue I have with the Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse is cool and everything, right? But you'd think that if the rule that a spider totem can be assigned to anyone because Spider-Man can be anyone, you'd think that Spider-Man would be a completely different person, a completely different identity, a completely different name everywhere you'd looked. You'd think it would be so unlikely for there to be even 2 Peter Parkers, let alone 50, 100. Most of the variants in Across the Spider-Verse that we see in the Spider Society are all Peter Parker. It's a mad thing. And the thing is, I don't know why no one talks about this either. It's not a huge issue, right? Because I get variants of Peter Parker sell. They're a gimmick for the story. And, you know, sometimes maybe it wouldn't make much sense narratively. Fair enough, right? But you'd think that there'd be more random people as Spider-Man if Spider-Man could be anyone. Right? I mean, come on. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, so that's my take on it. So Morlun is apparently rumored to be working with Fisk in the MCU. Morlun will be an MCU villain that brings in the multiversal elements into MCU Spider-Man 4. That would be pretty cool, but also I don't know how I feel about that. Oh yeah, there's a Spider-Man horror film called The Spider starring Carl. Oh yeah, what's his name? What's his name? Oh, what's the guy who played Carl in The Walking Dead? I forgot his name now. Oh my god, what's his name? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I'm not going to watch it though. This is why the Clone Saga was a goddamn mess, says Jay. So Spider-Man 4 is I think it's looking a bit ropey. I don't think it's completely dead, but everything that's coming out from it is like multiverse. Right? So I'm just a bit worried for it. The problem is writers and editorial probably are afraid people won't latch onto another non-Peter Spider-Man, so they stick to different. Yeah, and like I said, they you know, it has Spider-Verse has its reasons for not. Spider-Verse has its reasons for not doing randomers as Spider people. You know, it has its reasons for having 50 Peter Parkers, right? Different variants of Peter. It has its reasons. You know, the gimmick of having multiple Peter Parkers is really cool to fans. You know, I find that more interesting than having complete randomers as Spider people. And like you said, you know, readers wouldn't be able to latch on as good. Like, at least if it's Peter Parker or a variant Peter Parker, you can kind of take a guess at what their character is, what their past is like. So narratively and plot-wise, it makes so much more sense, right? And selling-wise, you know, merchandise, whatever, it makes so much more sense. However, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. In terms of, you know, for what the character of Spider-Man means. Maybe each universe is supposed to have a Spider-Person, but each universe doesn't have a chosen until a random person gets bitten. That's how I view it. Maybe that's a better way of viewing it. I mean, yeah, no, you are right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think they'll pull it off in a way where he's not the chosen one, but he's still important. Hopefully. Just give us a street-level storyline for the college trilogy. That's what I want. I agree. Well, if your superhero movies and cinematic universe are falling apart, guys, we've always got room for new fans of the Monsterverse. Oh, God, no. Oh, not the Monsterverse. Has anyone seen the Pooh Bear verse or whatever it's called? The Winnie the Pooh universe? Oh my god, Jesus Christ. No one like other character. Lol, Peter is a poster boy, no one can take his place. Yeah, exactly, that's true. You are very right. Totally unrelated, but they have made a cinematic universe for the children. That's what I'm talking about, yeah. Spider-Man 4 is looking like a street-level movie from what I've seen, since they're apparently looking for a new director, says Dave. Yeah, we talked about that last week as well, which is cool. So, let's move on to positive update for the 90s Spider-Man show revival. Now, a lot of you guys are going to want to hear this, so sit tight. As we know, X-Men 97 comes out tomorrow, and we know that Spider-Man was referenced in the trailer. In fact, I'm going to pull up the reference right now, as a matter of fact. So he was referenced in the trailer, and it was really cool, actually. It was one of the first shots of the trailer, too. We got a really big reference for Spider-Man. Here is the reference. I'm going to pull it up, as you can see on screen right now. Here is the reference for Spider-Man. It says Spider-Man is a mutant, and obviously this is obviously in the same universe as the X-Men. As we do know, Spider-Man obviously was shared a few episodes with the X-Men in X-Men 97. Obviously, we're talking about Christopher Daniel Barnes' version of Spider-Man. There he is, Christopher Daniel Barnes' version of the character. This guy shared the screen with the X-Men. I'm going to put him up here. So yeah, he has been referenced in the X-Men trailer. And apparently, X-Men 97 is going to feature references and cameos from other characters in that universe. So one of these is probably going to be Spider-Man, because apart from the X-Men, Spider-Man is the most popular character in that universe. It would be an absolute... It would be a fumble if Marvel did not include Christopher Daniel Barnes' Spider-Man in this show, in this season. But that is, that's a rumor that he's coming back. But it's confirmed that characters in that universe will have a reference. But not only that, Brad Winderbaum, who is a massive name in Disney Plus, he has come out, and when he was asked if Spider-Man 98, as it's being called, could be made, he said, "Never say never." Essentially, you never know, which is always good news. If X-Men 97 is getting made, and someone high up in Disney Plus is telling us, hold on, hold tight, it looks like it's coming. That's all I'm gonna say. I think in the next few years we're gonna see Spider-Man 98, as I reckon it'll probably be called in the 90s show universe, right? So yeah, isn't Spider-Man Unlimited a sequel to the 90s series? A loose sequel. It's not a direct sequel. Nah, MJ's still missing, says Netta. Hulk animated series also perhaps. One show that needs a continuation is Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. A lot of people do say that. Wetboy says there is also an Eddie Brock reference in the newspaper of the trailer. Yeah, there is also an Eddie Brock reference as well. The Chosen One concept goes against the main theme of the MCU, which is that every hero is unique and has his place. Marvel in general isn't built on one hero philosophy. Rounders Puncher does, very philosophical way of looking at it, but a very right answer. I hope they include him in the show, especially after not seeing him in Across the Spider-Verse. Maybe that's why he wasn't included in Across the Spider-Verse. Maybe the reason as to why is because Marvel were asked not to include him because they might be doing something behind the scenes with 90s Spider-Man. Possibly. Who knows? I can't imagine Marvel Disney not continuing Spider-Man. Lewis, I know you did your version of the Multiverse Saga, but maybe you could do this from this point on. You could rewrite everything from this point leading to Secret Wars. I might do that at some point. That is on my list, potentially. I've never really been a fan of Spider-Man fighting street-level villains. It's great when he's fighting Kingpin, Tombstone, etc. I just prefer him when he's fighting villains like Rhino and Mysterio. That's fair enough. The 90s show is okay, but I think everyone talks so quickly and does a lot of telling what's going on screen from the characters, which is why it would be beautiful if it came back, because I feel like the writing would be better. It's not the best written thing in the world, but obviously it carries a lot of nostalgia. There are a lot of stories that are left open-ended. Would you like the 90s show to come back? I'm going to put this as a poll. Here we go. You guys can answer this question. So make sure you get your answers in the poll in the chat right now. It's a very interesting question. I think most people are going to say yes. But yeah, I just need to plug my mouse in. My mouse has lost battery. There we go. Wait. Oh, there we go. We're in. But yeah, no. Someone said no. I want to see who said no and why. I'm curious. Has there been any news for Spider-Man 2 DLC? There was, on last week's show, we discussed the leak for the DLC, so I won't talk about it here because I know this isn't the stream for it, and I know people might not want to hear it, might not want to be spoiled, but we have got a confirmation of a villain for the DLC, and we are going, and it is happening, and we know who's going to be the villain, and we know some of the set pieces and the battles, so yeah, that's all I'm going to say. The problem with the idea of bringing back Spider-Man 94 is that Disney is already putting out their show with Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I think that's the only reason we haven't seen it, personally. Right? That's the only reason we haven't seen it, is the fact that Spider-Man Freshman Year is coming out, or Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, whatever it's called. So yeah, honestly, I think this is a weird answer, but it would also be cool to see these cancelled Spider-Man stories put into comics as continuations for those Spidey stories that can't be brought back. I clicked no accidentally. I meant to say yes. After all, I grew up with the show. Also, Lewis, you're dead to me on how you reacted to the Monsterverse there. Well, I don't know. I just feel like any universe that tries to copy the success of the MCU is doomed to fail. Like, if you're making a universe to make a universe and not making solo films to cross them over, I think it's the way you approach it. And the Monsterverse seems like the type that they're approaching it to make it a universe straight up. DC style, but I could be wrong. I mean, it has to be Carnage. What about any updates for Beyond the Spider-Verse? No, there's no updates for Beyond the Spider-Verse. It's just delayed indefinitely. It would have released in a week and a half from today. It would, yeah, so it would have released, would it be next week? Might have been next week, or the week after. Yeah, so it's really sad that we didn't get to see it, but obviously, you know, it's delayed for good reason. Probably I prefer Spectacular Spider-Man, but I would like to see MJ being found and her and Peter back together. Fisk and Olivia Octavius being in a relationship would be awesome, and in the new MCU, imagine Fisk, Olivia Octavius in Spider-Man Daredevil throughout the next college trilogy would be unique. Unrelated, but have you watched X-Men Evolution? I haven't watched it. I went to a family event the other day, and there was a kid there watching the most recent Disney Plus Spider-Man Kids show, and I couldn't believe what I saw. In Season 1, Episode 23, Doc Ock put their arms in the bin and says, "I am Doc Ock no more." That is so funny. Oh my god, I love it. Yeah, but they do it awesome and way better than the DCU, lol, says Mezzo Mind. We hope so. Hollywood has become obsessed with the cinematic universe. It really has. What do you think about the idea of Spider-Man 4 with Spidey learning to live as Peter Parker again? And Secret Wars, he is the last survivor of his dying planet after he's just gained a sense of identity. Well, I think the way that they'll go about it is, like you said, they'll probably have it being Peter Parker is no more. Most of the film will be Spider-Man up until a certain point, and then he'll regain the identity of Peter Parker, probably through learning to distance himself from Black Cat, realize she's not good for him, and then possibly reconnecting back with MJ. I reckon that's the way they'll do it, and if they do it like that, I'm fair game. It's a no for me. Not sure it will be done justice, and they won't risk having a competitor to their own Spider-Man show coming out unless it's just a show about a rewritten MCU-friendly neighborhood. That's the only issue. It go direct competition with Spider-Man Freshman Year, which obviously isn't good for Disney Plus. But I think if it does come, it will come later down the line. So I think maybe what we might see is we might see Freshman Year or Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, whatever it's called. We might see Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. We know it's taken them a few years to make that show. And then we might see in the interim between Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Season 2, which is obviously Spider-Man Sophomore Year, as it was called. It probably won't be anymore. It'll probably be retitled. It'll probably be 3 or 4 years before we get Sophomore Year. So maybe in between we get Spider-Man 98, which could be cool. Maybe like an 8-episode series, a mini-series. That could be cool. The Spider-Man movies are coming back to theaters. Are you going to rewatch them? Unfortunately, they aren't coming to the UK theaters, which really sucks because I would love to go. I would go every single one. So I can't, but I would. And he fights to save the multiverse because it's responsibility to do so, says Dave. Also, it's getting confusing with Spider-Man 4, both the Raimi and the MCU. I've been trying to separate both of them when I can, because I've noticed that's been a trend as well. Favorite Spider-Man movie, says Ree. Spider-Man 2, obviously. Yeah. So let's move on then. So, Sydney Sweeney to return as Spider-Woman. She has said that she'd be open to it, which is good news. She said that as long as she gets to share a screen with Zendaya, she would come back to play Spider-Woman, which is positive. You know, if there's one positive from Madam Web, it was the actresses' performances. Apart from Dakota Johnson, I felt like Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced, and Celeste O'Connor all did good with what they had. You know, Madam Web's an awful movie, but from what they had, I felt like those actresses did what they could. Would you? Here's a question for you in the chat. That poll ended quite rather swayed to the no that I didn't think it would. Would you like Sydney Sweeney back as Spider-Woman? I'm kind of curious. Would you, yes or no? Let's put that in the chat. Do you reckon there will be Spider-Man references in Deadpool and Wolverine? Because I'd be so happy if you acknowledge as Toby Spider-Man or any reference to him. I do reckon there will be. They should make her the Gwen Stacy of the college trilogy. I think Sydney Sweeney's a bit old for that. Is she? Wait, how old is Sydney Sweeney? Wait, let me check. How old is Sydney Sweeney? She seems older than Tom Holland. She's younger than Tom Holland. Oh my god. Sydney Sweeney's younger than Tom Holland. Maybe she could be the Gwen Stacy. Oh, I forget how young Tom Holland is. Old, sorry. Tom Holland's really old. I remember when Tom Holland was 19. That's crazy. Yeah. Sydney Sweeney is younger than Tom Holland, which is crazy. Oh, God, tired. Sorry I left for a while. Had to do some family stuff. That's fine, Tillman. Welcome back. If Sydney Sweeney comes back, she could be Gwen. Her and Tom are close in age, I think. I thought Sydney Sweeney was a lot older. Wait, I'm confused. After Avengers Secret Wars, will we get another Peter Parker Spider-Man trilogy with a new actor, or will we get solo Miles Morales trilogy? This is a good question. After Secret Wars, we will probably get Spider-Man 5 and 6, assuming that 4 comes out before Secret Wars. And then we will get a solo Spider-Man Miles Morales movie. We're not sure if this will lead into a trilogy yet, but it is confirmed that one Miles Morales movie is going to be happening. We don't know if it will be in the MCU or in the Sonyverse or a separate thing, but assumptions and rumors lead us to believe that it will be in the Sonyverse because that will connect to Sonyverse's Spider-Man, and it's Peter Parker. Whether that be Andrew, Toby, or Tom, we don't know yet, or completely different. It's all up in the air, but that is what we know. I don't know about Sydney Sweeney, but I remember I said Olivia Cook as MJ, says SR Striker. But yeah, no, so that's Sydney Sweeney's return. Let's move on to Nick Cage. This is just a quick piece of info. So obviously it was rumored that Nick Cage would be playing Spider-Man Noir in live action, which is cool because obviously he plays them in Spider-Man Into and Across the Spider-Verse, and we'll play him in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. But Nick Cage has also come out and said that he loves working, playing this character, and reveals that he has been in talks with Sony to reprise his role as Spider-Man Noir in the upcoming Amazon show, which confirms our suspicions and confirms the rumors that yes, Nick Cage is probably going to be playing Spider-Man Noir in live action, which I think is really, really cool. What do you think about how Marvel Spider-Man 2 ended with Miles covering for Peter? Pretty cool. Meh, I don't know. We'll see. I think it makes sense for the character, but I'm interested to see how they handle that in 3. Speaking of Secret Wars, Jonathan Majors is fired as all the Kangs. Yeah, I think he is. I think Nick Cage would be a good Noir in a show. Yeah, so he is coming back, which is really cool. We got 100% yes on that Sydney Sweeney poll, which is quite cool. Let's start another poll then. So, are you down for Nick Cage to play Spider-Man Noir in live action? There you go. Let's start poll. Boom. There we go. There's another poll. I'd rather have a Noir animated movie. That's fair enough. But it's going to be cool, though. A Noir live action Noir show is going to be really good. It's coming to Amazon, along with the Silk show as well. But we haven't got a lot of news on the Silk show. A few weeks ago, a lot of the writers were let off, and they are now reconstructing the show. This was directly after Madam Web's flop. So it seems like whatever they were doing in Silk maybe correlated to Madam Web, and now they are reworking the entire thing. That's what it seems like to me. But that's all we know about the Silk show recently, which we know is also happening alongside the Spider-Man Noir show. Live action, not love. Oh, sorry, did I put love? Love action? Love action. I can't edit it. But either way, that's what it is. Yeah, he would say he was going to do 4 more movies, then retire, says SR Striker. So yeah, let's move on to Venom 4 and Venom's future. So, here's what everyone's been waiting for. If you came in at the start of the stream and you listened to the Venom 3 title reveal and what we were talking about there. So, is Venom 4 going to happen? No, it's not. Despite how successful the Venom trilogy has been for Sony, and don't get me wrong, right? The films aren't the greatest thing, right? But people like them. People like the character. These films have been successful for Sony. Maybe not critically, but financially, these films have been very successful. The Tom Hardy Venom character is iconic now, right? So you'd think they'd want to make a Venom 4. Sony are money hungry. They want to make as much money as possible, right? You'd think they'd make a Venom 4. But guess what? They're not going to make a Venom 4. Apparently, according to Daniel RPK, as we mentioned, Venom 3, The Last Dance, will be the last Venom film in the Venom franchise. And then, but also according to Daniel RPK as well, not only will Venom 3 be the last Venom film, it will also, the Venom character won't end, because also what is happening is Venom is then going to transition into the MCU and have a role in Avengers Secret Wars. As we were discussing at the start of the stream, Kevin Feige, according to Daniel RPK, is open to the idea of Tom Hardy coming to play Venom in Secret Wars. Now, after Secret Wars, will this be the end of Venom and Tom Hardy? Personally, I don't think so. If they're willing to put him in Secret Wars after his trilogy has ended, I think this spells 2 things. Either, number 1, they are going to put Venom in the MCU permanently, and he's going to be a mainstay, kind of like how they've got that deal with Spider-Man to be in the MCU. I think maybe they'll do it with Venom. Or number two, I think this is probably the more likely option, Venom will be a mainstay character for the Sonyverse, only appearing in crossover films. Now, this could be Spider-Man films, Miles Morales movies, it could be potentially Spider-Verse films in the future. But what do you guys think about this, right? Venom 4, that was a bit rushed, says SR Striker. Superhero genre is just falling apart, which is funny because I feel like Palo Media has been doing better lately, which is awesome for me as a big dinosaur fan. Venom going to the MCU from what I heard from Daniel RPK. Yep. Usually Sony just follows the money. Shocked they aren't making a fourth movie, which is exactly what I thought. I thought, well, if you're following money, Venom 2 made what? Well, Venom 1 made 800 million, right? What did Venom 2 make? Let's have a look. Venom 2 box office. Venom 2 made 500 million. Venom 1 made 800 million, didn't it? Yeah, Venom 1 made 856 million. Venom 2 made 500 million. So a 300 million drop off, but still a very substantial amount of money. This franchise is currently a $1.3 billion franchise. For 2 movies, that is pretty freaking good. People aren't usually impressed nowadays unless a movie reaches $1 billion. But you've got to understand, right? Even with inflation, for a movie to hit $1 billion is like absolutely crazy. This doesn't happen. Your average movie released in theaters only usually makes like 80 million, right? I don't think people understand this. Like your average indie movie will make 80 million at best, right? 80 million is considered a flop for a comic book movie nowadays. Or a movie in general, right? But a regular indie movie will make 80 million at most. That's considered a lot. This franchise is $1.3 billion, and people won't be impressed by that. But it is. But it's really impressive. Considering what Madam Web is doing, as well. Same company. Meant to be the same universe until they pulled it out last second. So, I'm surprised they're not making I'm surprised they haven't greenlit a 4th film. Sony is actually doing the right thing and ending the character on a positive note, possibly. Or a good note with the story. If they do make another Venom film, who would be the next symbiote? Because Toxin is set for Venom 3. Probably Null. SR Striker says that as well. Didn't they cancel a few MCU movies? They did. Obviously, not Spider-Man related, but they have cancelled a few. We don't know what, though. I don't think Hardy could play him in a 5th Spider-Man movie. I wish we could get another Miles Morales animated movie with Spider-Verse Miles instead of him fighting multiverse of villains, having fighting villains like Green Goblin, Tinker, and Kingpin. I think they're saving the more grounded Miles Morales stuff for a live-action movie, which is going to be cool. I can't wait to see it. After Venom 3, the SSU should just end because they're not really winning at this point. The first 2 Venom films weren't that good, but they were the only enjoyable films out of the horrendous universe. Yes, I completely agree. I mean, the only saving grace coming out of the Sonyverse is the fact that Venom is a likable character. Tom Hardy's Venom is a very likable character, and I really do wish that they would make a good movie with this character. A good movie with Tom Hardy's Venom would slap. It'd be amazing, right? So, personally, I don't think Tom Hardy could play Eddie in the 5th Spider-Man movie unless like you said, they pull Tom into the Sonyverse, assuming it lives that long. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's one of those things. It could be one or the other, right? But either way, that is pretty much it for the news that we have today. Like I said, it's bound to be a shorter stream. I say shorter, it's still 45 minutes long. It's bound to be a shorter stream today because obviously there wasn't a lot of news that came out. But the news that we did get was quite stodgy. Stodgy the right word? Stodgy? I might need to rethink that one. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, guess so. It was wide. That's not the right word. It was dense. Maybe I'm dense. I think I'm dense. I'm definitely dense. But either way, you get what I'm saying, right? There was a lot to cover in the realms of what we got. Obviously, not a lot of topics, but still. You know what's funny? Godzilla Minus One had less than $50 million and made more. And Madam Web has more than $100 million and made less. Take that superhero genre, lol. Exactly. Godzilla Minus One, $50 million, made a profit. Madam Web made $100 million, didn't break even. That's what I'm saying. Hollywood is screwed up, right? To me, Andrew fixes the Sony universe. Yeah, well, I don't think Andrew should go because if he wants a career suicide, then maybe. Yeah, because I don't know if it's going to be Tom Andrew as the Sonyverse, fighting the Sonyverse Venom. That's the thing. It could be either of them. The only thing that can save the Sony universe is the writing. No actor can save it. No, absolutely not. No. You know, Dakota Johnson gave up halfway through Madam Web. Sydney Sweeney couldn't even save Madam Web. So, I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. Godzilla -1 is way better than Madam Web anyway. Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. I want to see Spider-Gwen Odyssey. Definitely not plugging it for Lewis. Yeah, everyone, go watch that amazing Spider-Gwen Odyssey. I don't know who did that. Wasn't me. No, I'm joking. Spider-Gwen Odyssey, as you can see, is coming soon. It's an audio drama. It's a retelling of Gwen Stacy's origin, mixed in with my own elements and elements from the original comics, taking out all the Spider-Verse stuff because I want her to be her own separate character, not connected to the Spider-Verse. So that's coming soon. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe to Lewis Fiction for that. I'll be posting updates soon. I said I might not be here, but also I said I might not. It says I'm a Connor. I mean, which Spider-Man villain will be in Venom 3, Tom or Andrew? Oh, I don't know. Oh my god. It's more likely to be Tom Holland, I'd guess. But yeah, I've been liking a lot of your streams really. I have a lot of questions I want to answer to you. Oh, well, but it's fine. Don't worry, Cosmic Bazooka. You know, everyone's got stuff on. Not everyone can be you know, be at the streams all the time. But if you got any questions, I mean, go ahead. We're coming to the end of the stream, but I'm just reading the chat at this point, so you know. Any questions we can talk about. Definitely be there to listen to it. It says Mez Don't Mind. I appreciate that. Andrew is by far the best actor of the three. Give him a good writer and a director while making sure Sony doesn't have any input, and we'd probably get the best Spider-Man film ever made. I completely agree. They fumbled the bag with The Amazing Spider-Man. When can the members get a release date for Spider-Gwen? I have a release date for the members coming, I want to say Thursday. I'll say Thursday. Members get the release date Thursday. The release date goes public probably the week after. So yeah, members get a release date on Thursday, and then they get told when they get the audio drama for them and the actual release date as well. Are you hyped for Deadpool 3? Says Cosmic Bazooka. Yes, I am. It looks exciting. Like, it looks like one of the best MCU things we've gotten in a while. To be honest, I'm ready to move on from MJ. She hasn't been written well for 20 years, and people are still begging for her. I actually would want more adaptations where he ends up and marries someone else. This is interesting, right? Because I think we're all holding on to the fact that, you know, MJ and Peter were great in the 90s and the early 2000s, and you know, even some recent stories, like Nick Spencer's run, she was great. But like you said, they keep going back and forth. Is it time to sack her off? If you asked me about 6 months ago, I would have said no. Absolutely not. She needs to be written well, and when she's written well, it's game time, right? But I'm kind of getting to the point now where if she was sacked off and replaced with another great love interest, would I be that mad? I don't know if I would, you know. Like, am I getting that desperate to just see something good? Maybe? Am I a fake Spider-Man fan for... I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I'm confused. I'm confused. Do I? Don't I? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. Stay tuned for my Ultimate Spider-Man movie, says Tillman. The questions is that Venom will meet Spider-Man in Venom 3, or will the post-credit scene from Let There Be Carnage and No Way Home build up to nothing? Probably the latter, to be honest, Cham, because Sony don't know what they're doing. Personally, I don't care if it's MJ, Gwen, or Liz. Just get Peter. Oh my god. Mess her mind. Bloody hell. Best boss gift in Spider-Man 2. If you say Venom, you're wrong. It's defo Mr. Negative. Probably? Probably? Yeah, probably Mr. What is the best boss fight? I read out gift, but I know you said fight. I'm assuming you are. I meant boss fight. Yeah, you did. Probably the Venom one with Kraven, right? I don't know. I just love playing as Venom. Do you think Sony should give back the live-action rights for Spider-Man? Only the live-action rights, not the others. Well, Sony does have... Well, Marvel has the other rights. Marvel does have the other rights. So, Lewis, you okay? No, I am okay. Don't worry. does yeah? So Marvel owns the TV rights, right? Sony own the feature length rights. There's nothing to do with animation. It's nothing to do with live action. Because Sony can make live action movies. Marvel Studios could make a live action television series for Spider-Man if they wanted. They could make a live action Spider-Man TV series on Disney Plus. Not with Tom Holland Spider-Man, but that like their own thing, right? I mean, I think so. I think they could. If what we know about the contract is true, which is basically Sony own the feature-length film rights, which is anything 45 minutes or over, and Marvel Studios own the right to make a Spider-Man television series, which is anything with episodic lengths of 45 minutes and under, which is why Spider-Man Freshman Year's episodes are 30 minutes. So, yeah. What do you think of Carly Cooper as a character in the comics? I love Carly Cooper. Really underrated. Not utilized enough in the comics. Not utilized enough in adaptations. She has so much potential, and I think it could be good if they use her. I was so confused. I just got an ad that didn't play and restarted the stream. Ads are really weird on live streams. I'd turn them off if I could. If YouTube wasn't my full-time thing now, I'd totally turn them off. Because they are really annoying and really confusing, and sometimes they break the stream. Unfortunately, I have to keep them on, but like I said, they are really, really confusing. If you get one and it just starts buzzing out on you and there isn't a skip button, just press refresh. Like, just press refresh. It should fix it. You should be alright. What's gonna go in the top right corner after Spider-Gwen, your next big project? Yeah, I'm thinking about just putting next big projects there. So Spider-Gwen will be there until it's released and probably a few weeks after, just to let know people it's out and like to go watch it. And then I'm going to put something else there. I don't know what yet because I haven't figured out my next big project. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm starting to think Spider-Man just doesn't work in live action. Now, Spider-Man does work in live action, right? But Spider-Man, I don't think works in movies. I think he needs a show. What are the best things that have come out of Spider-Man? The comics. Spectacular Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man game, right? All things that require more than 2 hours to complete. For more fleshed out side characters, for more fleshed out backstory, for more fleshed out Spider-Man himself. Just saying, right? So, yeah. I watch our live streams on 2 devices, YouTube TV, no ads, so I can respond to the chat. A couple of ads in the live stream. Oh, well, I appreciate that. On 2 devices. Nice. Are you excited for X-Men 97 tomorrow? I haven't seen the original. Well, though I have seen it, but a very long time ago. I'm rewatching it right now to watch X-Men 97. I saw it when I was a kid, but the only ones that the 90s animated Spider-Man show is the only one that, I've watched kind of religiously after that. But X-Men 97, I will watch it. I'm just getting through the original series. Yeah, a live-action Spider-Man show would be bad. It needs the animated format to work. I don't think it would. I mean, it depends what creative style you want to put on it. Like, I'm thinking... Now, bear with me here. This, Spider-Man Lotus, as bad as that film is, as bad as the fan film is, it does have some... in some areas, there is some visual quality. Like, that very dark and the moody colours of that film, I think, generally do work in a Spider-Man. That kind of tonality, the kind of monotone, very gleamy looking Spider-Man, I think that works. And for, like, a TV show, that would be really cool. Like, almost like what I'd compare it to is maybe something towards what Daredevil's like on Netflix, that kind of tone. I like that. I think that works for a Spider-Man TV show. I think it could work for a very serious one. Depends it depends what tone you want to go for. I've got a trailer for my stop-motion Spider-Man film coming out. I want it to say April is beginning of a 7-film series. I'm so excited for it. Really hoping it does well. Well, I hope it goes well for you, Tillman. I really hope it goes well. If you can pick who Peter would end up with if it's a date or someone he marries, hero or not, who is not MJ, who would you pick? Personally, Kitty Pryde, She-Hulk, Carly, or Liz. For me, If it's someone he marries other than MJ, my inner fanboy says Gwen Stacy, but obviously I know that that's not possible because Gwen's death is far more important than her. Gwen's death is far more important than her existence as a character because her main purpose is to die, I believe. That's just my opinion on her character in general. Obviously, until we see something done differently. But my inner fanboy says Gwen Stacy, though, but my head probably says not Black Cat. That's too out there. You know what? No, actually, I'd take a Carly Cooper. I think Carly and Peter could work together. I think they could if done right. So I hope they don't change Final Swing suit for Spider-Man 4. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. You hit the nail on the head. I hope so too. I really hope they revive the 90s Spider-Man next. Me too. Yeah, we've covered the topics now. We're just rambling on this, but I'm enjoying this though. It's crazy how the last live-action Spider-Man TV show was around the late 70s with Nicholas Hammond. Yeah, it's crazy that we haven't got one recently. I really want a live-action Spidey show. Lewis's one from a few years ago was getting good, but after episode 3... Excuse me, after episode 3 it got cancelled. Yeah, I remember I did that. It was because I didn't really like it. I was going to continue it on Lewis Fiction, but then I was like, nah, I'll just redo it, and I did the animated one instead. It wasn't very good. I didn't think it was very good. I didn't think it was building up to anything very good. It was very rushed as well. I wrote that series, by the way, fun fact. I wrote that series on a plane in 2 hours. There's 8 episodes, and there is 5 episodes unreleased. I wrote the series in 2 hours on a plane. So I wasn't a big fan of it personally. But well, remember that Spider-Man 6 movie you made Black Cat be Peter's wife. I did, but that was me about 5 years ago, and I wouldn't do that now. I think that was also my inner fanboy coming out. Should Peter be married to someone with powers? That's a very good question. Should Peter be married to someone with powers? Maybe. It's interesting. That's never been done before. Because a big part of Peter's character always comes from the fact that he has to protect the people he loves. The people who are innocent civilians and innocent bystanders in the chaos. I.e. Aunt May, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, Harry Osborn when he doesn't have when he isn't a supervillain. Obviously Flash Thompson before he becomes Agent Venom. J. Jonah Jameson, Norman Osborn before he becomes Green Goblin. These are all people in his life that are all, these are all people in his life that, he cares about at some point or another who could be in harm's way and get injured. So, do you think Marvel has their own version of Godzilla called Todzillo? Maybe? Can we see the full show's plot? In fact, I'll release it to the members. Yeah, sure. I'll release it to the members. I'll write it up in a doc because I've got it written down on like a notepad. I'll release it to the members. I'll do it. The members get the cancelled show. Isn't Godzilla canon in Marvel? I have no idea. Is he? I may or may not be pairing Peter with a superpowered being in my film, says Tillman. Well, who is it? Actually, no. Spoilers, obviously. But if you do, that would be very interesting. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very, very, very interesting question. You guys might have given me a video idea, actually. Maybe in a few months, I might have to tackle that video. Lewis, well, you should collect Spider-Man you collect Spider-Man statues? If yes, would you show us in your channel? I've showed before. I've got this. I don't collect statues. I collect pop figureheads. I've got the Spider-Man lamp though, which is pretty cool. And obviously you can see all the comics, the Spider-Man Blue and all that back there. But yeah. Yeah. Do you like Kung Fu Panda? I love Kung Fu Panda. I haven't seen the new one though. I haven't seen the new one. I do love Kung Fu Panda. But yeah, no, that's been pretty much it for the stream today. I can't do spoilers. My own cast doesn't even know, says Tillman. Well, yeah, I wish you the best with that. But thank you very much for watching the stream once again. I do appreciate it. This has been, this has been it for the news in the Spider Talk news show. This is our 4th Spider Talk news show, I believe. I had to delete the last one because we talked about the cancelled Insomniac game that Insomniac seems to be cracking down on when it comes to people talking about it, not just showing it. So I had to delete it just in case I got, told off. So that's why that doesn't exist anymore. But this is the 4th Spider Talk news show. The support has been absolutely insane. I just want to give you guys a big shout out for really supporting the show. and being here on the streams and getting to talk to you all. I love talking to you all. It's the highlight of my week, honestly, just getting to come on here and talk to you guys about Spider-Man. I absolutely love it. It's absolutely awesome. So very much appreciate that. W for everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for coming in. If there's anything you want to talk about, for next week's show, just leave us a comment on one of my community posts or on one of my videos this week. And, if it catches my eye, we'll talk about it, and I'll always be looking out for the news. I love this show, says 24 Bricks. Thank you very much. Once again, I keep pointing in the wrong direction. Spider-Gwen Odyssey coming very, very soon. Updates for it as well. It's going to be a Gwen Stacy origin story centered around her journey to becoming Spider-Woman. It's got elements taken from the original Spider-Gwen comic books mixed in with my own personal elements, and it's also going to be separating her from the Spider-Verse, giving her her own central story away from the other Spider people, which means she's going to be the own focus of her own thing, and it's going to be really cool. So yeah, do you have a Discord server? I do. Just as fun to chill and talk, says Platty. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I do have the Discord server. It's in the it should be in the description actually, automatically. It's the highlight of my week, says 24 Bricks. I do appreciate that. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you very much, and I will catch you guys for the next week's stream. But posting a video tomorrow. Stay tuned. It's gonna be on the Spider-Man Mount Rushmore, and that should be interesting as well. Discord server is so hard to talk on. No one is on there. Yeah, I know. It's kind of dead at the moment. I'll revive it, though. All right, actually, that's it. You guys go and revive it. Let's go revive the Discord server. I'll see you guys in a bit.